everybody, what's going on? Welcome to the latest episode of United in Strength. Mike here, and today we're going to talk about the benefits of using resistance bands for shoulder training, strengthening, and using them as a warm-up tool to prevent an injury before using a compound lift. But before we continue, please make sure to follow me on Tumblr, on Instagram, and on Facebook, and to make sure to please subscribe to this channel here and like this if you want more episodes. Now, it was December of 2017 when Brandon Lilly told me that the underlying issue holding me back from a good bench press was the fact that I wasn't training my rear delts. He was partially right. The other part is not really important right now, but he wasn't completely wrong, because in truth I wasn't training my rear delts at all, and it's easy to understand why. I mean, I'm thinking that I'm performing I think that when I'm performing my overhead presses, I'm hitting all three heads, but much like with the lower back, I'm not isolating anything. And it's easy to see why, because with the name itself, the posterior deltoids, it's posterior, it's in the back, it's not a show muscle, it's not something you see in the mirror. So why bother, right? Well now, much like I spoke about in my previous video and article on strengthening your lower back before performing a compound movement, and the link to that will be down below in the description box as well, training your posterior deltoids should be a part of anyone's routine, regardless of their goals. It doesn't matter, powerlifter, bodybuilder, just to be in shape, it doesn't matter. And they should be training them every single day, much like the lower back. Strengthening them provides the better posture, more stability through balance, and reduces the chance of a rotator cuff injury while lifting with a relatively heavy for you weight. And of course, like anything else, there are many ways you could train them, just to strengthen them, just to warm them up, to loosen them up before the rest of your workout begins, like I'm recommending here, including face pulls, dumbbell lateral raises, dumbbell rear delt raises, the list goes on. And but depending on where and when you train, especially if you're in a commercial gym that's crowded at night, you might find that your desired machine or even dumbbells might be taken up by someone else, and you just might be pressed for time like I sometimes am. So is there a solution? All hail the resistance band. This is a light resistance band I ordered from the Westside Barbell website, and I will leave that link below too. The resistance band, in short, has been used for many aspects of training, from physical rehabilitation to strengthening stabilizer muscles and to increase speed and physical performance. But in recent years, they've become a major staple in even your local commercial gym, and it's easy to see why. Since resistance equals tension, is going to force your body, depending on what you're doing, to work even harder than it was beforehand. Whether you're using the bands by themselves, or especially if you're adding tension to the bottom or even the top of a compound barbell movement. They're also very cheap. This cost me not that much money at all. And on top of that, you could travel with them. You could take them anywhere. And so you'll see a lot of people, again, based on their goals, traveling around holding this in their hand. Some people will use this in between sets of their major moves. I myself am one of those people. That alone makes the resistance band a very convenient pre-workout warm-up and injury prevention tool. Having said that, here are a few of my favorite resistance band exercises to warm up my shoulders before any training session. Alright everybody, we're going to start off with the first exercise for resistance band shoulder training. This is called the band pull apart. One of my favorites. It promotes strong scapular retraction, your scapula being your shoulder blades. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to hold the resistance band each side at shoulder width, and from there we're going to bring your arms out in front of you nice and straight and bring your shoulders back. I'm going to show you from the side what I mean by shoulders back. Arms out, and you're going to slightly retract your scapula. Boom, done, just like that. And I'm going to show you from the back, from the rear. Arms out, shoulder blades slightly together, or brought back, just like that. So once my arms are out around shoulder width, and once my shoulder blades are back and my arms are straight, I'm going to retract my scapula in a controlled motion. You want to feel the movement. You want to feel your shoulder blades squeezing together. And you want to do so until the band touches your chest. If the band touches your chest, your shoulder blades are most likely pinched together as much as possible. Once this is done, you will, in another controlled motion, bring your arms back together into that starting position, and that is one rep. I will turn around to the side and perform this again so you can see what it looks like from the side. My arms are back, shoulders are back, arms are straight, and I am once again pulling. As such, the bar's touching my chest, my shoulder blades, I feel them together. I'm going to bring them back in a smooth motion. And I'm going to do one more rep for you from the rear so you can see my shoulder blades actually retracting or being squeezed together. Shoulders back. I'm about to begin, and my shoulder blades are doing all the work. My arms are doing nothing. You should see now my shoulder blades are together. I'm going to bring them back in a smooth, controlled motion. That is another rep. Whatever you do, never, ever let your arms bend. Never bend your elbows. Do not let your arms do the work. If you are new to this and you're having trouble holding the rope via the band via both layers, you can definitely hold it just by one layer. My client Dan uses one layer right now. For optional scapular external rotation, you can hold it in a neutral grip, your thumbs out, and then you could just bring your arms out until the bar touches your chest. The next move we're going to perform now is the resistance band shoulder dislocation. As you can tell, this is essentially a variation of the classic shoulder dislocation used with a dowel rod or some kind of a stick. So it's essentially the same thing, but there's going to be more of a test of your flexibility and mobility than it is just strengthening your shoulder capsules. So, much like with the band pull-aparts, you're going to hold your arm, the band shoulder width. Your arms will be shoulder width, but this time, hold it at your sides. All right? That's going to be your starting position, holding them at your sides. Much like the classic version of the shoulder dislocation, you're going to keep your arms straight, bring your arms over your head as much as possible, squeezing your scapula, and bringing it as far back behind you as you can while keeping your arms straight. And then, once you're done with that, you're going to bring them back to the starting position in a slow, controlled motion both ways, keeping your arms straight as much as possible, bringing them back to your front, back to the side, back to your sides. I'm going to show you this from the side now. Same thing. Arms to your sides, holding the band at shoulder width. Start to bring your arms as straight as possible over your head. Squeeze your scapula and bring them back. And then from there, bring them back over while keeping your arms straight in a smooth, controlled motion. That's another rep. I'm now going to do it from the rear. Again, once again, arms to the side. I'm bringing them up, and now here's the part where you see me squeeze my scapula. And I am bringing them down to my side successfully. And then I'm going to slowly, while squeezing the scapula again, raising them over my head and back to my sides. A lot of people, sometimes myself included, tend to do this in a fast motion. And that's fine. But if you're new to this, I would like you to try and do this in that slow, controlled manner. Heck, do this as slow as you can, because you will feel if you are tight anywhere in your pectoralis major, minor, or anywhere in your shoulders. You will feel it. If you cannot bring your arms all the way over your head, say there's a point of tension, doesn't matter where the point of tension is, the point of tightness, say it's over here, hold it there for about 30 seconds. This is something I did a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. No, a year ago. And hold it for 30 seconds and slowly bring it down as much as you can. And if you can't, you could try to massage the area via foam roll, via lacrosse ball, and then try again another time. If you're new to this and you don't have the flexibility, this can take a while to achieve full flexibility, But like most things, take your time and you will get there. All right, so the third and final resistance band exercise we're going to perform for the shoulders is the band face pull. And as you can tell by the name, hopefully, it's basically a variation of another classic exercise, one using a cable and a rope. And we're doing this one with external rotation. What does that mean? Well, I'll discuss that in a moment. So there are two ways to perform this exercise. The first one we're not going to discuss because I'm not in a gym. You could basically figure eight this resistance band around the pole of a machine, mostly like a universal bar or something, a cable crossover machine, and then right in the middle, and then you can perform your face pulls. The other way is this basic version we're doing right now. This is why I'm sitting down. You will sit down with your feet, with your knees slightly bent, as such. See? Slightly bent. And from there, you're going to take the first layer, the single layer of the resistance band, and you're going to wrap it around your feet, like I'm doing right here. From there, you're going to take the sides of the resistance band, and from there, you're going to pull toward your face, as such. Now, you notice my hands are neutral the entire time. That is what I mean by external rotation. A lot of people, when they do face pulls, they'll flare the elbows and they'll keep their arms straight like this, and their fists will be facing forward. We don't want to do that because that will cause an shoulder impingement. So what we're doing here, as a matter of fact, I felt that. So again, we're gonna hold the band at neutral position, and we're gonna pull toward the face as always, but instead we're gonna hold it. We're gonna keep the fists in neutral position, or maybe even outward as such. This will promote external rotation, which provides a good stretch for your pectoralis minor as well as your shoulders. I'm going to perform this from the side now. Here it is from the side. Once again, I'm putting the single layer of the band around my feet. My knees are slightly bent, as you can see. And I'm going to pull toward my face, retracting my scapula the entire time, keeping my fists in a neutral position. And this will promote my shoulders being externally rotated. Back down in a smooth controlled motion, just like I brought it. That's a rep. Here it is from the rear view. Once again, the band is wrapped around the middle of my foot. I'm holding the bands from the sides, retracting my scapula. And my arms should be to my sides. My hands are in a neutral grip. Bring it down slowly, controlled. That is another rep. Well, there are three of my favorite exercises to warm up my shoulders with using resistance bands. They are time efficient, they are simple, but they are brutally effective. Believe me on that one. Trust me on that one. The most important thing I can tell you to do right now is to warm up your shoulders every single day. I'm going to say that again. Every single day before you work out, before you perform anything, including major compound movements, much like back raises. When you do them is up to you. I usually do them right after my back raises, but that's just me. The upper back and the rear deltoids are crucial to a safe and proper execution to all major compound movements in terms of mobility, flexibility, stability. Make sure you consciously remember, think about it, mind-muscle connection, to squeeze your shoulder blades, your scapula together during your deadlift and your bench press sets, and especially if you're a low bar squatter like I am, because it's the only way the bar is going to successfully rest on your shoulder blades, on your scapula, and be used as a shelf. I also recommend performing each exercise for 1 to 2 big sets of 8 to 12 reps each, meaning one after the other after the other. It's like a super set since there's 3 of them. So just perform these consistently for even just a week, and you too will see a difference in your upper back strength and your posture. I will leave a link or two below of where you can get good resistance bands. Make sure again to follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, and please subscribe to this channel if you like what you saw. Take care.